Hello and welcome back to my channel Kissed by Starlight. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to pull some messages today from the angels about the current energy that you're experiencing and how that's being translated in your life right now. And really just bring through any messages that may be calling to be seen and heard and acknowledged at this time for you. So straight away we've got solitude with that beautiful owl, that medicine carrier of wisdom, light, truth. And the owl flies alone and silently through the forest and can barely be heard. So it's a time really for observation, for looking beneath what's being presented to you, looking beneath any situations that are going on in your life right now and seeing the deeper message, the deeper meaning, the deeper truths of what's going on, and acknowledging your truth, your understanding and what these messages are saying to you. And it may literally be that you're experiencing a time of solitude right now, or you're being called to go inwards for a time of solitude, to look at your life, your situation, what's coming up for you, what's being shown to you. And really I feel this is around dismantling as well, dismantling things in your life, feelings, experiences, situations, people, places, things that are no longer in alignment with your soul, with your true calling, with your truth, with what is speaking to you. And this could include versions of yourself that perhaps have been playing out in a larger than life way in your life, and you've almost been trying to fit yourself into circumstances, people, places, relationships. That could be, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, that could be within family, friends. It could, mean many different things. But it's almost like where you've been trying to fit yourself into something and it's not quite given that completion that you were expecting, that sense of being a right fit, being a good fit. It's almost been that you've had to come out of that to look at it, to see where growth is needed, to see where transformation is needed, and to make some necessary decisions before you can move ahead. And I think the light is coming through that space now, that void, that voidal space that's been created there, that you've been trying to fit yourself into. And it may be that later on that becomes a good fit for you. That at present is unknown. What's happening right now is this dismantling, this looking at everything and seeing, is this working for me? How does this work for me? What can I observe within this situation? What is this situation presenting to me? And is it an old version of something? Is it the past that's needing to be shed? Are there shadows? Are there feelings, behaviors, patterns, experiences that are of the past, or that are an old version of me, or that are perhaps even woundings, things that are calling to be let go of, things where you've had issues in the past, for example, around trust, around communication, around connection, around discernment, even perhaps even around trusting yourself or trusting others. So, we can't truly trust others or truly be fully trusted until we can fully trust in ourselves. So that's a kind of divine dichotomy that it needs to be unpicked and unraveled, which I feel this time is all about doing. And that's really perfect during, depending on the time you're watching this reading, because it's a timeless reading. It's, it'll be for whatever time you come to it, but if it resonates for you. But what is happening here currently at the time of posting this reading is a Mercury retrograde period, which is a time actually for stepping back, for reviewing, reconnecting, recalibrating, reconnecting even with maybe parts of ourself or situations that we'd forgotten about, things that we need to be reminded of, perhaps even things you'd forgotten that you used to do or used to enjoy, or that helped you in your daily life. For example, a strong spiritual practice when you wake up in the morning to help you go about your day. You know, even sending the violet flame ahead of your day to clear your day can be a very strong, helpful practice to help any situations that are not meant for you or that are not in alignment with you any longer, and to help you notice the difference. Because the whole point is, when we're in that kind of liminal space, when we're in that space of in between one life and the new life, or say one old timeline and the new timeline, when we're in that in-between space, when both things are presenting to us, there's kind of this need to just be in quiet, to be in reflection, to be in allowing those situations to come up, and to very much get in touch with which one is our truth now. And if it's not our truth, how can we let it go with love? You know, sort of thanking and acknowledging its presence and its purpose, because everything has purpose. Everything has a purpose in your life to bring about growth, to bring about transformation, to bring about the new in whatever way, shape or form that needs to be seen at this point in time. So there will be different situations presenting for you, and this will apply differently depending on how it resonates for you and what you are navigating at this time. We are, oops, Dad, I've not dropped a card, so I'll just bring that one through and see what that one is. And we've got, where is the balance between modern and mystical? And we've got iron, you know, so it's almost, it's that space of, you know, what is past, what is present, what is real, what is fantasy, where are we, what is this, what are we being shown within our situation, our circumstances. I'm just going to pull one more of those as well and see if there's another message there for clarification. Whoops. And we've got lots. Wow, I've got lots. Yeah, and although this is, you know, the picture of a lion, and that's really interesting, that symbol. I need to look up that symbol and actually perhaps put that in the comment section of what that means, because that's been coming up a lot recently. And this kind of element of fire, of the sun. And actually, when I first saw it as a dragon, so I'm going to include, I saw this as a dragon as well, which is interesting, because actually I think it's part of the plant. But the dragons have been very much coming through at the moment. The dragons are coming through to show you and help with this clearing, with this recalibrating, with this turning, that's lovely, turning, you know, metals into gold, the alchemy of transforming one thing to another. That, you know, how can I take this situation? How can I take this situation and how can I actually alchemize it into what it needs to be, what it's calling to be now? What is the higher version of this situation? What is its highest expression, and how can I bring that forwards in my life? How can I transform that, you know, transform that wounding into love, transform that pain into pleasure, faith, you know, look at the higher perspective. What has this taught me, and how can I rise above that now and stand in value, you know, value of yourself, value of who you are and what you've been through, you know, really reclaiming your position, reclaiming that place in your life as the leader of your life, as the hero of your journey, and the one who turns, you know, I was trying to think of the saying, you know, the king that turned everything into gold. Please do remind me if you know his name, because it's just momentarily escaped me. But there's this sense of, you know, bringing that into life, into existence. So how can you turn what's going on into something better. And often that means taking the time in solitude and trusting your inner guidance, trusting those thoughts, words, visions, repeated messages that are coming up to be looked at for you to listen to. And we've got the beautiful Archangel Daniel, and Daniel is bringing in a message of divine discernment. I don't know if you can quite see that there because of the light. He's got saying, trust in the messages within, they are divinely guided. So whatever's been coming to you, whatever's been repeated in your thoughts, in your awareness, in the signs and synchronicities that are coming to you, the truth is there. The truth is there for you to see. You're being clearly shown the truth, but it's going to perhaps take a minute of going within and having that time in solitude. Doesn't have to be a long time, but a time enough to actually discern what is being asked of you. And we've got Charity, pillar of service. Serve with a gracious heart and know God is serving you. So I feel in this there's an element of rising above something that has been painful in your heart, that's perhaps been a lot of wounding, that's asked you to open up even more. There's a lot of light coming into this reading. There's a lot of light. There was so much light on this card that I couldn't actually read the message. So that means it could take a little minute to understand what's being shown to you. But the amount of light that's coming through at the moment, and this is actually being reflected in the earth, in how we're receiving all of these solar storms and solar flares that are really bringing so much light into the planet, into the earth, into our bodies, that they're literally changing us at a core level. They're literally transforming us back to light, from carbon to light. We're being reshaped, recalibrated, reconfigured. Our DNA is literally coming back online. We're our Merkaba, our light body, our chariots are being upgraded. They're being fully formed. We're receiving a lot of messages which are going to enable us to even more walk in the light, walk in truth, walk in service. And this may be calling on you in some areas, perhaps of forgiveness, perhaps in letting go, perhaps in allowing the things that have wounded you, the situations, perhaps the relationships, the connections, the circumstances that have wounded you, now to be transformed for this higher heart. See, it's a higher heart activation where there's that transforming love into unconditional love. Its highest aspect is unconditional love, is a love where it's not a love where we're trodden all over, or where we're not valuing ourselves. It's a love where we are respected, where we value ourselves so much that others value us to that level, where we are able to give, and where fear turns to faith, because we know we're always given to, we're always provided for. Life will always serve us and serve back to us exactly what we are giving in relation to that, and expecting from it in return, and knowing that we are worthy, that we are an aspect of the divine, that the divine walks with us. Our archangels, our guides, our spirit helpers, our animal guides, these beings of light walk with us, transforming us, helping us transform anything that is heavy into light, lifting it to its highest vibration. And at this time, it's interesting, we've got the moon. We are, I think, even today entering a very powerful new moon transit, and under this new moon we are being shown our purpose, where we are being guided to step into, where we're being asked to bring ourselves. And look, isn't that lovely? We've got the DNA spiral, that fire, that alchemy, that transformation, that recalibration that's going on right now, that's coming, and we can see the sun. We can see the sun in all of these different symbologies. We can see the light coming through, the light showing us very clearly this sunlight, this divine masculine light rising, this transforming the old into the new, the alchemy of the vision that we are being called to look at and being called to embrace and bring into being. Perhaps it is literally a vision you've had that you are being called to bring into being. Perhaps it is a vision of yourself, a vision of your work, of your life, of your offerings, whatever it is that you do at this time, whatever it is you want to do, whatever that dream is, that purpose, that passion, that fire that came with you, that you brought with you into this life, into this incarnation, that's asking to be seen now. It's asking you to let go of all limitations, to let go of all negative beliefs and imprints and situations that are holding you back, that are not lifting you to this highest vision of yourself, of others, and allowing you to walk through a doorway, a portal, a gateway now out of the old and into the new. This is the time, this moment in time right now. And if we're talking literally about the astrology, the Mercury retrograde, I believe, goes on until the 11th of August. Again, whenever you're watching this, you know, it look at the moment of time you're in, this liminal space in between worlds, in between shifting and moving. You're in a very powerful position. This is a gateway, or asking you to walk through it. It may be that you're transmuting and clearing ancestral patterns, situations. It may be you're very much working within that realm, perhaps with your ancestors, to clear the old and make way for the new. And this will mean also clearing anything that they perhaps were not able to clear, or that they began to clear in their lifetime, in their incarnation on earth, that they've elected perhaps in their highest version, so in their fully light aspect and highest love aspect, may have elected to help you clear now. But again, we wanting to work with beings of 100% pure light, who are here to serve, who are here to continue that good work, who are here to help lift any situations into the highest expression. And as you walk through this doorway, I feel life is going to open up for you. I feel that things are going to become clearer. There's going to be a clear opening for you to come into your own, to join with those beautiful star beings that are calling to you now, the soul family, the ones that are coming into life now, that will be more and more entering your life, your work, your service work. They are coming through with a message of connection, with a message of divine connection. The more that you can lift anything heavy out of life, step out of it and into the light, the more that they can connect with you and help you and be with you to rise and shine into your highest expression. It's time for this now. This is the time, this is the moment where you're walking through this. So even if perhaps you can't imagine that quite yet, perhaps that's not immediately apparent in your circumstances, perhaps it's not immediately showing itself yet. However, this is what the energy of what could be coming through from you, what potentially is there to show you, what potentially is there to offer to you, to allow for you. And we've got the beautiful hare, and that's repeated as a beautiful animal guide in these cards. And the hare is all about abundance. It's about taking that leap. You know, they take great strides. They can leap great distances, and it's time for you to take that leap into the new, out of your comfort zone, into faith, into whatever is calling you, whatever has been or is going to be calling you. Perhaps it's a dream you've forgotten about. Perhaps it's a dream that was long ago, that you planted a seed and you forgot about, and now it's the divine timing for that to be called into being. And so it's time to come into that union of the divine masculine, the divine feminine within you, within your relationships. Now, it doesn't matter whichever gender you identify with. This is not about gender. This is about energy. We all carry the masculine and the feminine energy. This is a time of union. This is a time of things coming together, coming back together, but this time in the way that they rise into their highest form. So in other words, you could see it like all of those lifetimes, all of those lessons, those challenges, those situations that you've had to go through that have really been difficult, that have really shaped you, that have been almost like, you know, cultivating diamonds. You know what a difficult process the diamond has to go through in order to be born into its beautiful form, and then that diamond is so hard, it can't be broken easily. It's like what we're being called to do. All of those situations and challenges that you've been through were designed to help you grow into that strongest version of you, the strength of you that allows you to be your best version, to do what you came here to do, to bring all of that learning and that knowledge together in order to help you bring it into one union of everything you've learned, everything you've gone through, letting go of all of the heaviness of that and coming into all of the potential of that, all the possibility of that, all the light of that. And that is just such an incredibly beautiful and the strongest place you could absolutely be, where nothing can break you. Your soul is indestructible and your life is an expression of that is an expression of that beauty, an expression of that truth, that authenticity, that incredible magnificence that you came, that strength, that power that you came to step into and to wield through your heart, through gratitude, through love, through embracing and loving the shadow and the light, working with them to bring union and acceptance to them so that you can stand as a divinely powerful and your fullest being, your fullest expression of love. So, even if this hasn't appeared for you yet, even if you're just in this doorway, this gateway where you're being called, you're starting to get a glimpse of what you're needing to walk through, maybe the fire you're being asked to experience in some way. And by that, what I mean by that is, where we're asked to walk through the fire, metaphorically, not literally. So we walk through the fire of the old and into the new. We show ourselves that we can do it. Have you ever seen people that walk through fire? I'm not saying that's what you should do. Please don't take it like that. What I'm saying is, have you ever seen those people that do that? Have you seen the joy when they realize that it is possible? And just a disclaimer, please, the people that do that under guidance in a very controlled, careful way. So please do not undertake to do anything like that yourself. That's not what you're being asked to do here. And following on from that, no reading can ever tell you what to do or ask you to do anything, and nor should it. What I'm saying is that sometimes in our lives, metaphorically, we are having to rise into the most glorious version of ourselves, and this is what all of this is showing you now. So even if it's not quite there yet, try to, even if you're in this kind of in-between phase where you're being called to go within, to look at what's happening, to do some deep digging, perhaps through journal work, perhaps through shadow work, perhaps through just asking yourself some really big questions about your life. What is real? What is fantasy? Where am I loving, or where am I in fear? Where am I holding myself back? Where am I limiting myself? For example, there's some of the examples of the questions. How can I step into my power? Wherever you are in this process, if you're stepping into that now, just hold gratitude in your heart. Gratitude will lift any situation into its highest expression. Gratitude will enable you to see a situation through a new lens. It will enable you to bring truth to that situation and let anything that is not truth fall away. And it may be, I just want to show, this won't be relevant for everybody, but just on the bottom of the deck we have walk away. goodbyes, alignment, new possibilities. So it's walking away, it's what I've been saying about walking away from what is now just a shell, what is not real, what is not in alignment with your soul. Let it go, whatever it is, whether it's behavior, pattern, situation, an old version of you. Be the leader of your life. That's the message of Stag. Be the leader of your life, be the hero of your journey. Allow yourself to walk into this beautiful new situation. Let situations reflect anything they need to show you. See what's in the mirror, look at it, alchemize it, transform it, and allow yourself to step into the best of you, because the best is yet to come. So beautiful beings, as always, please only take what resonates, ignore anything that does not resonate for you. And I thank you so much for being here and being with me for this reading. If you like this video, please do consider liking, sharing, subscribing. I'm so grateful for you spreading the love and sharing in the comments about what you've been going through and how that's affecting you. And I really look forward to seeing you in the next reading. Thank you so much.